Joe, my brother,
What's up,
thank
man?
you for coming on the parables, man. I
Thanks, you, bro.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Dude, I know you just came from doing some work, and again, as you know, as you can already tell, I don't like to do remote, but for you to come over here, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it worked out, dude. When I met you, we had a good vibe, and I'm like, all right, let's go unleash the beast on this mofo.
Yeah.
Let's unleash the beast.
Dude, I love it. Yeah. So we met at our good friend Sam Bakhtiar's place on his birthday,
Right.
and dude, yeah, I loved everything we talked about, man. And
Yeah.
dude, and we have a lot of mutual friends as well. And like, regardless, I feel like we would have connected, whether it was through Sam or through something else. So I appreciate you, man. So listen, as you know, I'll give you a little rundown of what the parables is about. Really, it's just for people to take away from our conversation, anything they could take away and use it to apply it in their life, and just to become the best version of them, man.
Right.
And just have a fun conversation. Like I said, dude, I hate using the word interview. I feel like that's so played out. We're here to just have a good time and just chat, man.
Yeah.
And drop some beats and freestyle a little bit.
I prefer that. I mean,
You prefer that? Yeah.
The funny thing is when I have these conversations with people like you and some of the other friends of ours, when we're done with the conversation, we're always like, damn, we should have recorded that.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah.
I feel like we should just be mic'd up all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the best idea, by the way.
We might have to edit a few out, right?
Right. But no, honestly, because things happen, and they can be so important, and you're just like, man, if only like everybody just heard what we talked about, it would help so many, and it's helping us at the same time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, you got to catch it in the moment. And every time you try to overstructure something or be perfect about it, you're not allowing your soul to flow naturally.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're like, this is my route. For whatever reason, my best ideas and the way I speak and, the stuff I want to put out, it's always in the damn car. And I feel like I should be mic'd up in the freaking car. Are you like that? Because you put out some good content on your IG.
For me, it happened. I do it in the car because, but I've been coaching companies for 14 years now.
Yeah.
And I'm used to working in person. And then everybody's like, yo, you got to start doing video. So I started doing video, like some of the older episodes that you watched from top producers. And my clients were like, dude, you're way more crazy in the office. You're way like, who is this?
Yeah, who is this dude?
Sophisticated person,
Yeah.
And, I mentor sales professionals and sales teams, especially the good ones. They want real, hardcore, give me the good stuff, skip the BS or the motivation fluff.
Yeah.
And so I started doing Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Just to become more natural while I'm in my natural state.
Yeah.
And then what started happening is people started picking up on it. And then even though I don't have necessarily a massive following compared to everybody, I started getting tons of feedback from the stories, which to me was like, damn, sometimes when I'm thinking about what's important in my life or in my business, in my priorities or in my clients and my friends, there's people out there thinking or feeling the same exact way right now. And we live in a day and age where we can communicate with each other and reach out to each other, whether we've ever met or not, whether we live in the same country or not. So why don't we?
Yeah. That feedback, what was that feedback like? You should be like that more when you're coaching and when you're working, or like?
Well, most of the feedback started coming from people I've never met before.
Okay.
They were like, "Oh my God, you nailed it!" Like, "Oh, thank God I watched this."
Okay, so the content. Good.
I start whenever I'm lazy, before I get to work, I always look to see if you're dropping any videos in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, dude, thank you for kicking my ass. I hope we meet someday. And when you're out there, one of the things, I don't care how cool you become. When you're out there mentoring people, there's a level of paranoia that comes with it. You always wonder, like, man, like, even if you're doing really well, even if the money's coming, you're always wondering, like, man, did I really have an impact on those people?
Yes, I agree.
Or they just going in one ear and out the other. So what fuels us is not the money. It's the feedback.
Yeah.
Even if it's hate. At least, oh, man. So to me, it's just, oh, man, this dude was listening.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like a lot of people think like if we want feedback, they feel like that's ego driven, but I disagree with that. I'm the same way. I feel like it's reassurance, and it reinforces like, oh, we are putting out good stuff. We are making an impact. We are putting out valuable content out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I feel like some people are like, oh, he's looking for feedback, or he likes the comments, he likes the likes, he likes the all that stuff. So I'm glad you brought that up.
There's no doubt that this is becoming part of our business too. Like, it's important for us to engage with customers, and to learn our algorithms and stuff like that. But that's not what drives us. That's more of a responsibility. It's like a task that you have to do, and you don't always feel like doing it. What's more important, if you're a true mentor and coach, is not that. It's that people are reaching out to saying, because of you, I made progress. Yeah. Because of something you said, I was able to make this change. Because of what I learned that day, I prevented my divorce. Wow. Yeah. Because of you giving me confidence, I stopped drinking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, wow. It's not like, yeah, sure, I double and triple people's paychecks all the time. Yeah. But that's like, cool, dude. Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to invest in? What are you going to buy? But the ones that really hit me, the ones that are like, you had no idea, but at the time I was going through A, B, and C. And I was about to lose it all. And I was thinking about, man, just giving up on the whole thing and going back to a regular job. And then, bam. And guess what? Now I'm the VP of the company. Yeah. Wow. Like, that just happened yesterday in San Diego. Same situation. Now the dude is a director of sales and the company's growing.
How does that make you feel, man, when you get that feedback? Must feel great.
I feel like just saying, yo, where's my fucking money? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. I'm usually just like, dude, I'm happy. Like, if anything, it like, when you do what you do, a lot of people out there, you guys can agree, whether you're developing a team or raising a family or even just little children, anybody that you're pouring your heart out into can be emotionally draining. Yeah. Not upsetting, but your soul has like an energy level. And when you pour your soul out all the time, when people tell you, oh my God, because of this happened. Yeah. It's like getting bonus coins in a video game. Yeah. And like, oh, I'm ready to go again. Because rest is important. Nutrition is important, but that's food for the soul. Yeah. So when you're having an impact and somebody returns that to you, your son, your neighbor, your nephew, your uncle, your little brother, or your sales agent, your director, your business owner. When somebody returns that is probably the number one thing that people need to feel appreciated. Yeah. No, I agree.
I wanted to ask you, being that you're in a coach, right? It puts you in a position of power, like, right, in a certain form, right?
A certain level, more of an authority.
Yeah.
More of an authority. Yeah.
Does it ever? Because we talked about paranoia. Does it ever put you in a state of like, man, like almost like a little overwhelming, or you feel like you have a lot of responsibility in your hand? Because the reason I bring this up with this platform, I got to tell you, I got people reaching out to me too. Like, dang, I love what you're doing, Ejay. I understand your story, my background's in nursing, and now what you're trying to do with this. They ask career advice all of a sudden. And I was like, holy crap. Yeah. I'm not there yet to provide that. I would love to give them a lead or some sort of wisdom that could make them a rational or logical decision. Right. But from you being a coach that's, of your power, mentoring these over 350 companies, how does that feel? Does it sometimes like,
Well, the paranoia part is healthy. It's nutritious. It's not, I'm paranoid, am I going to fail? Yeah. It's more of a responsibility. Like, okay, these people are investing in me. And their people to help them grow. So I need to make sure I'm on. Look, any leader out there who has been through adversities has a better understanding of what's going on in the lives of their team. Yeah. You see?
Good leaders. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a good leader. I wasn't always a good leader. Leadership is learned. Just because you have good intentions doesn't mean you're a good leader. Yeah. But the main thing is that you understand that nothing is absolute. Nothing you say is 100% correct all the time. Your way is not the only way.
Yeah, absolutely.
People ask me all the time, are you going to be the best sales coach? Do you think you're better than Grant Cardone? And to be fair, I say, fuck yeah, I'm better than Grant Cardone.
I love it. Yeah.
Even Bradley's. I'm not going to get into names. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, there's no better or worse.
Yeah.
There is a such thing as being more modern in your skills, because look, you're not going to hear it from me alone. The economy is changing really fast.
Yeah.
Human behavior is changing really fast. Customer behavior is changing really fast. So if you don't adapt your skills, your sales skills, your closing skills, if you're still using the approaches that were passed down to you from the guy before you, or that videotape that was made 10 years ago, or those books that everybody said, have you read this book, How to Win Friends and Influence? Yeah, the fundamentals are great. Read, absorb, enjoy it. Those are wonderful messages. But the actual technique needs to grow. So when people say, are you now the best sales coach in America? I feel kind of like saying, I don't know if I'm going to be the best. What I will tell you is that I pay attention to what's going on now. Yeah. And I cultivate my material based on that. Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the paranoia comes from making sure that I deliver the best possible, applicable content and lessons I can, and that I'm not just regurgitating stuff that are going to keep people stuck in the same prism of life.
Yeah, you're providing value, and of course you want to deliver.
I mean, literally, sometimes on my way, like I'll wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, regular day, I got my morning routine down, I'm like, my supplements are in, right? And then on my way to my clients, I'll literally be thinking, oh crap, I better pray to make sure that I say the right words, that I impact the right people, that I do this the right way, that, So it comes from a point of service, basically. So that's the empathetical part. That's the compassionate side.
Yeah.
The other part is the level of awareness that I've built over the years of paying attention to what's really happening in the marketplace, no matter what industry you're in. You're in car sales, you're in health club, you're in fitness, you're in mortgage, you're in insurance, you're in brokerage, you do business loans, you do educational programs, you sell online, you sell in a call center, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like I pay attention to details other people aren't even aware exist. And that's what allows, some of that paranoia to become value. Value in the way of changing the words that you say, changing the questions that you ask, changing the way you overcome objections, changing the way you say hello to people when you greet them, changing the way you pitch, changing the way you leave voicemails, changing the way you send text messages. All of it is adaptive. Now, something I wrote 3 years ago is outdated today. There's industries that I'm coaching where what I wrote 6 months ago, we're already changing because the market's adapting. It's now a sales pattern.
Yeah.
Once something becomes a pattern and your customers start picking up on it, now they can't tell, are you trying to help me, Joe, or are you just selling me?
Yeah.
Because I can tell from the way that you talk that you obviously work on commission.
Yeah.
And that makes me uncomfortable already. Now, in the new economy, this is for all you sales pros out there, and even if you're not a sales pro, you're an entrepreneur, you're a fitness trainer, you're whatever, if you make money by communicating with people, you're selling or closing. In this economy, people don't want the feeling of being sold. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean you can't say, I'm not selling you. It has nothing to do with your intentions. You could say, Joe, I don't want people to feel sold. I want them to be comfortable. Great. What's your strategy? Because most of the words you were taught to millions of other salespeople.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially in your industry. So now the customer can't go, look, you sound like a salesperson, but I can see in your heart. They're not going to say that. See, if somebody's out there dating, if you're a young woman, you're out there dating, and everybody's first date and second date look and feel almost exactly the same, who do you choose?
Yeah.
I always tell my friends, if they're all the same, just choose the richest one. No, seriously. But
I love it, man. It'll be one of my favorite episodes. I already know
it. So what I'm really saying is, if they can't choose, then they go after price. And now you have to battle people on price.
Yeah.
And then you get, oh man, these customers are stupid. These customers are all shopping. No, they're not. Yeah. You have to, at some point in your career, like I was honest in my career, go, look, obviously the way I communicated with them did not bring them clarity. It did not get them to a decision-making point.
Yeah.
So their natural reaction to protect themselves, to make sure that they're doing the right thing for themselves or for their family or whatever the situation is to at least get the best deal.
Yeah.
And by getting the best deal, they don't always get the best service.
Yeah.
Or a product.
Yeah, definitely.
So really, when that starts happening, people are price shopping. What does it really mean if you're aware of modern behavior in general, and what I teach in domination selling? What it really means is preventatively, your customers arriving at that point because you did not understand or communicate thoroughly to them. What you did was memorize everything about your product, your benefits, your features, what differentiates. You presented it all to them, and now they need to think about it.
Yeah.
So you've become. Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
Yo, Snoop.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yo, Snoop, drop the beat, dog. Yeah, man, this is a joke. No. So, really, what that means is the way that you communicate with your customers is more of a presentation about your product or what you can do, what you've done for others. What it needs to be, you need to communicate in a way where your customer feels that all you're doing is getting the best understanding of them that you can.
Yeah.
And if the decision is right, then you'll make the decision together.
Listening, observing, right?
Well, it's not just listening, because you can go to books in 1892 said, make sure you learn how to listen.
Yeah.
How many times have y'all heard mentors say, and I love some of these guys, okay? You were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. No shit. So tell me what to say now. So it's not just listening, but it's creating an environment within the conversation through emotional progression, proper transitions, learning how to ask the self-realization questions in a certain order. Not just qualification questions. That's what people do. Not just needs questions, right? You have to learn this process because you'll end up finding out a lot more about your customer than what other people in your industry are aware of. And whenever you understand someone deeper, right?
Puts you at advantage, right?
It automatically makes you what I call, quote unquote, the one.
Nice.
You're the one.
Like the rapport.
You're the one I'll marry. You understand me the most.
Yeah.
You understand me. Like our rules and values are the same. You don't have to convince me about your product.
Yeah.
Because you understand me, even if it's uncomfortable for the customer.
Yeah.
Because some industries, you have to ask uncomfortable questions.
Yeah.
Even if it's uncomfortable for the customer, if you have a better understanding than me, I call it the silent commitment. You don't have to ask for commitment.
Yeah.
You've become the one through the context of the conversation.
Yeah.
You don't have to ask for business. You don't have to assume the close.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, I know those are just little tidbits and gold nuggets for you guys. Everybody's kind of reflecting right now on how can I apply that to my business? Well, you should be thinking that.
Yeah.
If I'm out there doubling and tripling people's revenue, you should be wondering how does that happen?
Yeah.
And these companies are already successful.
Yeah.
So, I'd love to go into detail sometime, but in a nutshell, most of the skills, communication skills people have, sales skills, were handed down to them, and they're outdated. So then what happens?
So they're dinosaur.
The problem is they still work sometimes. Okay. So companies are always telling me, dude, marketing is so expensive. And I'm like, well, marketing is getting more expensive because market is becoming more saturated. The other reason, check this out, everybody, marketing is becoming more expensive is because you're slowly allowing a lower conversion ratio in your company. Most industries' conversion ratio from when somebody's interested to when they close them is somewhere between 8 to 12%.
Okay.
You know what that means? That means that's probably enough if you know how to scale your business to make a little bit of a profit. Probably enough to give people enough income to live a life and get trapped in that budget. But that means that you're perfecting a system, a strategy, a communication style that scares away 80% of your business.
Yeah.
Purposefully.
Yeah.
You might not even know what's happening. So we say, we have an 18% conversion ratio, or you're a top producer. Well, most people get called a top producer because they're doing a little bit better than the average person in the company.
Yeah.
Those two rules have nothing to do with what either person is actually capable of.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what you don't know, then you're not awoken. So if I haven't come into your company or your life or one of my colleagues to go, look, what you're doing is working, But notice how you're always losing good people, or you have so many ups and downs in your company.
Yeah, you're not. You're not.
Or like me, most of my sales career, I was popping off and making money and acting cool when the economy was perfect.
Yeah.
And guess what kind of economy we're in right now?
Yeah.
We're in a boom economy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, their business is growing. Their health clubs are growing. Their mortgage companies are growing. Their insurance agencies, we're recruiting more people. We have more. Dude, you're in a fucking boom economy.
It's going to be a rude awakening.
There's
right?
almost money on the freaking apple tree outside.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? That's why for those of you who have been around for a minute, this year particularly reminds me of 2005.
Wow.
In 2005, every waitresses were making like $8,000 a month.
Dang.
Who were working. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when there was a small shift in the economy, which probably won't be as big as it was in 07, 08, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's when the truth comes out. And here was the truth that hit me. Dude, I just left my home that I had in Costa Mesa.
Okay. Around what age was this? I
was 28.
Okay.
I had already started my coaching business. 28, 29. And I'm like, crap. Literally, I'm like, thought, some magical way I'd find a way to make money. This happened to a lot of people. Luckily at the time, still I didn't have any family or other responsibilities. So it's tough losing a home, but I lose a home. Mm-hmm. 3 months later, things get worse. And then I get an eviction notice from my apartment.
Wow.
My roommate bails. He's a good guy, but he had to bail. He lost his job too. Mm-hmm. I can't cover both ends of the rent. So next, I'm getting kicked out of another place. Mm-hmm. But now things are piling up. I don't even have the credit to go get another place. Mm-hmm. So now you're approaching 30. Like, for me, I don't know about you guys, but going through ups and downs in my early mid-20s was fine.
Yeah.
It was like part of the story.
Yeah.
Like, I could even it made me feel cool. Because I lived out of I lived in my car when I moved to California.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that story. But this roller coaster ride, now that I was getting into my 30s, was embarrassing.
It was a different phase of your life, though. Yeah, it makes sense.
Dude, it's not just a different phase of your life. Like, I have this thing that I say, and I know you guys out there are going to relate to this shit. Everyone's keeping score on you, especially your loved ones.
Yeah.
See, it don't matter. I love you. You'll be fine. You'll do great. You're the greatest. Whatever they say, there's something I call a respect score. Mm-hmm. See, when you're making progress in life, for some reason, people's respect goes up for you.
Yeah.
When you keep going up and down, it seems that people were losing respect.
Mm-hmm. And they don't know what to think of you, almost.
They don't know what to think of you, and it's almost an obligation to have you as a friend.
Yeah.
Obviously, your family and your loved ones are an exception. And, for those of you who are lucky enough to be born into such an amazing family like me, that's not always the case, right? Mm-hmm. That's great. But still, there's a respect score.
Yeah.
You see? Mm-hmm. And what I got tired, what the embarrassment was, and I just started sharing this story recently, but I was probably about 2 weeks away from getting evicted. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't very emotional at the time, even though people are like, oh, you're a cancer. Cancers are emotional. I'm like, whatever, dude. Right? You're a cancer. Okay. What do you want me to do, cry?
Yeah.
So here I am, and I'm like keeping my composure. I'm like writing material. I'm studying by this time. I'm trying to figure out how I'm out there in the field trying to close companies. People weren't spending money. Mm-hmm. I would walk in and be like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a sales coach. So what do you do? Like, I can help your company, grow in sales. They'd be like, who are you? Like, we have to pay you up front?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's a recession. We're not even buying bottled water for our people right now.
Yeah.
So it was kind of that time.
So it wasn't accepting, or it wasn't. Yeah.
It was challenging. Look, if you're, and here's what I'm getting to. This particular night, I was in the shower, and I'm like, kind of in my head planning, okay, what can I put in storage? Will I have to go back to living in my car? Can I keep that a secret for a few months? Where am I going to shower? Mm-hmm. Maybe I should just budget for the gym membership. That way I can shower, stay in shape, which has always been really important to me. It's got me through a lot of tough times. And while I'm thinking this, my knees buckle and I just collapse and start crying.
Damn. So just done, like everything just came on.
Yeah. I wasn't getting emotional. Mm-hmm. It was just like something in my heart or soul gave out.
Yeah.
And said, dude, give up. Stop finding excuses.
Yeah.
Stop covering up the pain.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop making it seem like it's not affecting you.
Yeah.
Let it affect you.
Yeah.
Let it wake you the fuck up.
Yeah. That pressure, all that pressure.
I call it my awakening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then what's funny is I must have been on the floor for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's not like there's a video camera like now every time we turn around somebody's you know, like these days I would have to like do a story. I'm crying in the shower. I just wanted you guys to know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't happening, but all of a sudden the water got super cold. And I'm like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the symbolism from that was the cold water was like, dude, wake up.
Yeah, definitely.
Like get up. Okay. You let yourself, and this is really important. When you go through a challenge in life, let yourself experience it.
Yeah.
Accept it. And practice getting over it as quickly as you can.
Yeah, embrace it, and let it drive you.
Right. You know, I heard Manny Koshman say on one of my buddies the other day on his podcast, he's like, you have to learn to celebrate failure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to affect you a little bit, but is it really the end of the world?
Yeah.
Is it really going to matter in 5 years? Mm-hmm. Like, stop being so emotional. So that cold water hit me, and I made a decision. I'm like, you know what? The reason I'm not making money, the reason I lost my home is I'm not recession proof.
Yeah.
Meaning I'm not that good. Mm-hmm. I'm good. Probably above average. I know I am. I know I've done well. But every time I've done well, everything's been perfect around me.
Yeah.
Perfect economy, perfect leads, perfect marketing.
Yeah.
Perfect situation.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, dude, you're not that good, but you have your health, and you love learning. Mm-hmm. So the next thing I did was I stood up and I made a decision. I'm like, I need to do whatever it takes to become so valuable in what I teach that it is unquestionable.
Like bulletproof.
More than bulletproof, recession proof, right? Like you name it.
Yeah.
Like the world could come down and I'd be fine.
Yeah.
When your skill set and your mindset and your emotional stability are constantly being practiced, what's going to stop you?
Yeah.
What's going to stop you?
Yeah.
A recession? Let's say a whole industry collapses, like we're seeing. Mm-hmm. Well, if you've been practicing these things, what do? You go to another industry. Mm-hmm. And because of your skills and because of your character and because of your self-awareness and your emotional resilience, what'll happen within a couple months? Boom! You'll become a top producer there too.
Yeah.
See? So I often tell people that are in different industries, what do you do? Oh, I'm in real estate. Oh, I'm a consumer debt specialist. Oh, I'm in insurance. Oh, I started saying, look, what do you do? I'm a communication expert. I'm a communication expert. And right now, I'm investing my time in one of my passions, and my passion happens to be fitness or finance or whatever the case may be. Because you never know when you're going to have to make a switch.
Yeah.
People get so romantic about what they do. I'm romantic about what I do. But do you think if for some reason, let's just say a law changed, or because of social media, coaching wasn't popular anymore, do you think I'd be tripping? Knowing what I know now.
Yeah. Would you?
I'd be again temporarily disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really love that. I've been doing this for 16 years.
Yeah.
But then I'd be like,
but you wouldn't stop, is what you're trying to get at. Like, obviously.
Well, I would either keep going and find a way around it, or I would pick a different vehicle.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, my skills are so badass that it doesn't matter what vehicle I'm in.
Yeah.
Look, I mentored over 20 different industries, and I've only worked in 3 of those industries. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why is that? It's because accelerating the learning and the things that I've done to acquire the psychology, the neuroscience, the human behavior, all the mechanisms. I don't read sales books. Like, if a book was written 7 years ago by a guy who did sales 15 years ago, hello.
Yeah.
Would you, like, is Google going to hire a programmer who worked on the original iPhone?
Yeah.
No. Mm-hmm. You're so out of date.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, be aware of it. Yeah.
Be aware of it.
Have it at the back of your head. But again, you have to be self-aware and kind of keep up. But it's funny, you brought that up, how 6 months ago, you're already adapting. You know, you were mentoring a company or whoever. Yeah. And 6 months ago, you're already adapting and changing
Yeah, constantly.
So is it always changing fast like that?
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on the environment in that industry.
Okay.
You know, it depends on like the more popular an industry gets, the faster it needs to adapt. Mm-hmm. So if you run a health club or you're a fitness trainer, or I'll give you an example. Like, how many videos of a chick doing lunges on the beach can we possibly watch?
It's the first thing that pops up.
You know what I'm saying?
The feet, yeah.
Like, all right, like eventually that's not going to get tracked. We'll still look at it, but eventually that needs to adapt. It needs to advance.
Yeah.
Similarly to these guys, you know, in sales, like, how long do you think you're going to keep saying what you're saying before almost everybody in your industry sounds the same? Mm-hmm. And then your customer's going to be able to recognize that you all sound that way. And so now, like every other industry, you're going to end up with a 12 to 15% closing ratio because your customer just thinks the only reason you're calling is to sell me.
Mm-hmm. I got to be honest. Every time I talk to somebody, I feel like they're selling me. Not like just anybody, but like you could really tell. Like I think we come to, I think I said in a past episode, humans are so more aware now. At least, I don't know, at least the people I'm around with, at least with me, that I could call bullshit right away. And I could just see like, all right, this guy's definitely trying to close me on something.
Dude, it's because our connectivity is 1,000 times more than it used to be. You're connecting with people like almost constantly while you're awake. When we used to have to go out in public to connect with people.
Because of social media and all the technology.
We used to have to be on the phone or be out in public to get sold. See what I mean? Walking down the mall and somebody's like, hey, you like this curling iron? Like, it's constantly happening. So because of that, it's the same thing in dating. Like, girls are being hit on 1,000 times more than they used to. So if guys all kind of start saying the same things, then it's going to be difficult to commit because who do you pick?
They just think of them as all the same. Like,
like, oh, this is going to be, this is all like, the same. Here we go. Right? Here we go again. Like, why even bother? Let's just have a girls' night. You know? Look,
sorry, I'm taking. Walk away.
Sorry, I'm taking. Not me. No, but it's an interesting topic, and it's just because we're connected a lot more. So what you're saying is correct, that people in general are adapting to the patterns around them faster than they used to. I'll give you an example. In the 90s, date myself, who cares? I'm still sexy. In the 90s, I worked at I was in high school. My second sales job was for a cell phone company. And I remember I used to have to convince people that one cell phone in your family wasn't enough. Okay? Like a flip phone, right? I used to have this like different lines I would use. And one of the booths that I worked at was in Sam's Club. It was like a cell phone booth. You guys have probably seen it before. And people would walk by and I'd open up the phone and I'd be like, it's your mom. And they'd be like, what? And I'd be like, your mom's on the phone. They'd be like, what? And then I'd be like, come here. And they walk up and I'd be like, look, your mom's not on the phone, but you should call your mom and say hello. Because it was cool to have a cell phone back then. If you had a cell phone. And married couples used to say, we don't need one. We already have one. We already have one? Yeah, we share it. Now today, we would be like, what do you guys always leave the house at the same time? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Makes no sense today. But back then, people used to take time to adjust. I'm giving you an example here. So people would take time to adjust to technology. Let me show you how human behavior was changed. I call it economic velocity. The economy of things changes way quicker than it used to, obviously. So we used to have to convince people that you need another cell phone. Then we have convinced people that your kids should have one too. These days, how many do we have?
Too many.
Dude, I have 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like I need one separate just for my content, social media, and all that stuff.
My nieces and nephews all had them at like the age of like 8, 9, 10.
What a time to be alive, man.
So now look at consumer behavior. Now consumer behavior is going, I don't feel like leaving my home and doing this. There should be an app for that.
Yeah.
Look at just the difference of 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah.
Why do I need this? There should be an app for that.
Yeah.
You see? Everybody come up with business ideas, right?
Yeah.
The other day, my buddy was like, man, I need to take my car to a mechanic. He said, there should be an app for that.
Yeah.
They should come to your house, do the repair, right?
Yeah. Convenience.
Yeah, so human behavior is changing. We're adapting so fast that our expectations, which Jeff Bezos knows, are like way ahead of what's even invented now.
Yeah.
Now put that into business context. That means that your communication, the way you communicate, the words, the strategies that you use, in my opinion, I said this when I spoke at Microsoft. They're like, wow. I said, communication is the newest form of technology.
Yeah.
What do I mean by that?
I believe it.
It has to constantly be what?
Adapted.
Upgraded.
Yeah.
Has to constantly be upgraded. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, pretty soon, that's it. You're just a pattern.
Yeah.
You're somebody in the background.
Yeah.
I'll still watch your videos. I'll still look at your abs. I'll still say hello and act polite to you. Then I'm going to be like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, I can't afford it. Mm-hmm. Or whatever the excuse is because the connection's not there. Mm-hmm. Really interesting, dude. Really interesting.
Do you think like some people kind of just overcomplicate sales a little bit? Because I feel like I said, I call bullshit when somebody tries to close me on something.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, man, I know a lot of people could agree out there, like you said, you see that pattern, but I feel like it's just crazy how outdated it is too, because you still find people like, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm not gonna put the name out there. Mm-hmm. I was trying to be closed on a self-development, I guess, program, and they started to. I
would really love for you to put the name out.
And they straight up said, and I was like, no, I'm already doing okay. I said, no, I'm fine. And they started to put out there that they start to put that pressure on you.
Put the pressure on.
Like it's the end of the world. Mm-hmm. And,
all the traditional closes.
Yeah. And they say, if you need to think about it, that usually means that you're thinking about lots of things in life and you're not moving forward.
And you're always thinking and not moving forward.
Yeah. Like you're second guessing. You have to think about it. And I was just like, wow. Yeah. Like I was already annoyed.
Yeah.
At the way they closed me and putting all that pressure, but for them to say something like that, which starts to get a little personal, like almost
you know what the problem is? The problem is that works 10% of the time, and then the people go, "See, it works."
Yeah.
All they need is one yes.
Yeah.
And it'll work sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And it still feeds them like it's effective.
There's no 100% wrong way.
Yeah.
But when you have to close like that, it just means you don't understand enough about your customer. Mm-hmm. What you've spent the majority of the time is talking about your program.
Mm-hmm. How from your experience, how has influence changed in your mind as far as?
Well, the fundamentals of influence are still the same.
Okay.
What I call the number one rule of influence. This is something that I heard Tony Robbins say in like 1989 or something like that. Mm-hmm. When I was in high school, my aunt and uncle were in Amway. You know what Amway is?
Amway?
It's like a multi-level. It's a huge multi-level marketing company. It's like one of the oldest. They had a couple different names. I think there's something different now. And I was like, this 15-year-old entrepreneur, run your mouth, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So they're like, oh my God, we're going to get you ready for Amway. So they started it was kind of neat. They started giving me material to read. And at the age of 15, I started reading Zig Ziglar, Ty Boyd, Brian Tracy. Tony Robbins wasn't popular yet. Mm-hmm. He was just started selling, I think, Self-Mastery, which was a plastic album of his cassette tapes.
Yeah. Old school.
Why you got to be damned, bro? Why's it got to be like, damn?
Old school.
Yeah, I was 15 years old. Fuck you. No, sorry, guys. We cuss for fun, not to offend anybody. But at that time, I started reading that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so at a very early age, I would hear these things, but they felt like obligation. Like, oh, this is just motivational, whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't until later when I was like, a lot of these fundamentals that we learned are even more important now. But that doesn't mean the strategy's still the same.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fundamentals, everybody needs love.
Yeah.
But the strategy might have to be different these days.
Kind of like how you execute it, or maybe like how you approach it.
For sales, the words that you use.
Okay.
Literally, the word patterns that you use. Mm-hmm. Now, there's something to be said that you can make improvements studying anybody's lessons. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when somebody says, dude, these vitamins really work. Mm-hmm. I started taking them and I feel so much energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, dumb face, because you didn't take shit before.
Mm-hmm.
When you go from zero progress to some, you feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or, that's why people are like, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym 4 days a week. And I'm like, how about one?
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that it's overcomplicated or that what they're doing doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It's that if you have high standards, okay, like I tell my clients right away, what's your average conversion ratio? Sometimes they don't know. We have to calculate it and figure it out because they don't track numbers very tightly. And they should. And I find out let's say it's like average producer 14%, top producer 21%. And I'm like, okay, start telling everybody in the company that the new par is 45% if you've been here for more than 90 days.
Wow.
And they're like, what?
They're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What do I mean? I'm like, start telling everybody, expect them to get uncomfortable, expect them to, rally just to act cool during the meeting.
Yeah.
Start telling everybody right now, if you've been here for more than 3 months, the new par is 45%. And that some people would do 100% on some days, and we'll reward them for that.
Wow.
I wasn't saying that on day one. Of course, I'm acting all fancy now because I've done it at dozens of companies.
Yeah.
But, part of it is working on their belief systems and that repetition, that reaffirmation, and then the skills follow.
Mm.
And then as soon as you start realizing that it's not complicated to have massive changes in your customers' commitment level and conversion ratios and enjoyability at the same time, and you start realizing new things of how different types of psychology work to make people feel more welcomed, to make people feel more naturally committed, to make people feel like, oh my gosh, you are the right one to work with. You're not just trying to get another customer. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then the magic starts happening. Then we start getting like 2 or 3 people start to like double and triple their income.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, it was an accident.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's lucky. He's lucky.
Oh, yeah, he's just lucky, right? You got all the good leads. You're working on Saturdays and you just, right? Whatever it is. You got to love it, dude. You got to love people's reactions. Like, you get an ounce of success in this world. Immediately, like, 70% of everybody around you are like, it won't last.
Yeah.
Like,
some doubter or hater or
Yeah, like I wish
Troll.
Gary Vee was here right now to just yell at everybody. Like, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it when he says like everybody's arguing over whether the glass is half full or half empty.
Yeah.
Like, dude, while you're arguing about that, I'm like, how do we fill the fucking glass?
Yeah.
Like we got all this room in the glass. How do we fill it? And so, I always tell everybody, when the excitement level goes up, expect resistance. I tell them on day one, some of you will be cheerleaders. What's a cheerleader? A cheerleader is somebody who, I'm excited. I can't wait. We love this.
Like, I'm pumped up.
And then really, you don't do anything. Just while we're around, you act excited and it buys you time. You don't actually implement.
Yeah, you don't
You're not
apply,
showing
you don't
your
apply
results.
it. Yeah.
Right? Then we have the champion. The champion is usually an underdog. And they're the one who's like, I know I can do this. I wish somebody would believe in me. I know I can do better. I just need something. I just need help, It's that person whose dream, their passion never dies. And all they need is a glimmer of hope, and then teach me some skills.
You need
and I'll
like
do
just
it.
A little fuel.
Just teach me what to do, and I'll do it. I swear I'll do it.
Yeah.
Guess what happens to them? 2 to 3 months, bam. One just happened again.
Yeah.
This chick has been in this industry for 16 years. She's actually in the consumer debt industry, where they help people that are going through tough times to kind of revamp their credit and get them back on track and stuff. 16 years. She's always done well, but never been a top producer.
Yeah.
This month is her 4th month. Top producer. In fact, she beat the dude who's always been number 1.
Dang.
When that starts happening, that's when I call, almost like gravitational leadership. Is when we never pressure anybody to do these things. I look for the champions. And then the third group of people are basically the naysayers. They're the ones who go on the owner's off. They go outside on smoke breaks and they're like, this shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
right? Or they're the ones who are afraid that it is going to work and it's going to make their level of performance now look mediocre.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So because they're proactively intimidated by what might happen, they start weaseling over here, sneaking in the office over there, planting a seed in this person's mouth.
Yeah, because they're comfortable in that. They're in that box. Like we spoke about that before. Like
they're comfortable. They're sometimes often a very good person who just doesn't realize that they become cynical when it's time to raise your standards.
Yeah.
When the team is like, all right, we're headed upward, they start to very carefully try to break down the momentum. Because if everybody's doing it, then they're going to have to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So it puts them in a temporary. But what's magical is when even they see everybody doing it and they're like, screw it. Like I have videos from people that are like, I tried to avoid his shit for 6 months.
And they finally gave in.
And they're like, you know what? He's always been so nice and so fun. And now I'm seeing so-and-so make more money than me. And I'm seeing so-and-so make more money than me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's a video right now on one of my websites where one of the directors and one of my clients is like, you know, I tried to avoid it. I denied it. And eventually I'm like, hey, you know, he's always fair. Let's try some of this new stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Especially the more experienced guys. Yeah. You guys want a big takeaway for today.
Let them know. Let them know.
Yeah. Experience is the slowest freaking way to learn right now.
I was just going to ask you, you touched on that. It seems like experience isn't enough.
Man, I mean...
Shaking the head.
Podcast part 2, you know. So we grew up. We're in between two generations where we rewarded experience, and experience is great. You need experience, right? Experience builds resilience, builds stability. It teaches you how to interact better with people. You know, it prepares you for challenges, for heartache and stuff like that. So there's tremendous value to being a very well-intentioned, experienced person.
Yeah.
Okay. It also helps in leadership sometimes.
Yeah.
But experience is not proportionate to skill.
Like we can't discredit their experience because what they've been able to do.
Again, I've just never seen anybody become a top producer because of experience. That's why pick any company in the world right now. Their income is not based on their age.
Yeah.
There's a 22-year-old outperforming a 35-year-old.
Yeah, yeah.
And then in the other corner, there's a 60-year-old outperforming a 40-year-old. Then there's a 19-year-old outperforming a 28-year-old.
Yeah.
Who has more experience. I mean, I see it all the time. So people confuse experience with expectations or skill, and they're two completely different things.
I can't say how much I hate that.
Yeah, well, I hate it.
I hate that because
I guess this will be the last time I'm on your podcast.
No, I hate that because you know, in my career, growing up in the healthcare and the corporate world, that's all it's about. It's about experience, and it's just like, dude, like.
Let's talk about healthcare real quick.
Healthcare is changing, just like we talked about sales. It is you know, healthcare. We have to meet the demands of these sick people, so it's always changing.
True,
and we're always trying to meet the, you know.
From a service perspective, it's very important. You know, it's a very emotional environment, but it's not just healthcare that I'm referring to. There's a lot of really amazing professions that people are just they're blessed for, they're created for.
Yeah.
It takes a very special person to be a nurse.
Absolutely.
Or a doctor.
I agree, y'all.
Brownie points. I mean, I have my nieces are nurses. You know, like what they do, like I could never have the patience to do that. What I'm referring to, though, is the income gap. Attorneys, engineers, computer programmers, nurses, doctors. In this new economy, what we're going to see is our expenses. This is why our credit debt is at what, $1.3 trillion right now? Hold up. By the way, unemployment is lower than it's ever been. So everybody and their illegal cousin is working. Okay? But credit card debt is higher than it's ever been, and it's 4 times greater than it was during the last bubble. What does that mean? Here's what it means. people's incomes are not going up as fast as the demands of their lives and their expenses and their bills and their responsibilities. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know, some of you out there are going to love it when I say this. Some of you are going to hate it when I say this. Stop bitching about healthcare plans and taxation. Yes, we should pay attention to those things. People like my mother, she really needs that stuff. She's not at an age where she can start her career over.
Yeah.
She needs protection. She needs help. We have to pay attention to that. But as a profession, you need to start skilling up and constantly learning and constantly advancing yourself, because there's something happening right now that I call the economic divide, or the domination divide. If you're not operating in a domination mindset, you can't just graduate as a nurse or as an attorney or whatever, or an engineer, right? You don't even have to be in sales, and just think that now that you have a good job, your future is set. That's not the case.
It's not.
You're going to go out and finance a home, buy a bunch of furniture, run up your credit card debt, have 2 kids. Some of you have no control in that area. and before you know it, everything that you make is going toward your expenses. Well, what are you going to do? Give up all your expenses? No. So what's your other option? You have to upgrade.
Yeah.
You have to skill up.
Yeah, they'll evolve.
You have to evolve. That's why I call it the domination economy. Because the ones who are going to be able to provide the most for their families and have the most freedom and have the most control over their lives, their well-being, their health, their vacations, whatever, are the ones who understand this and participate daily, if not weekly or monthly, into accelerated learning.
Yeah.
Meaning, whatever you're doing right now, automatically start looking 2 to 4 years down the road. What's the next thing?
Absolutely.
Because this income, with my little raise every year, is not going to provide the foundation that we need 10 years from now.
It's not going to be enough.
It's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
And this is cool. This is we're going into a catastrophe. No, we're not. What does this mean? It means that you're going to spend your life enjoying yourself, also dedicating some time to constantly learning things that will have an impact on the quality of your career or the quality of your life, with health being one of them. It's another area you have to adapt in. Yeah. And your income.
Yeah. All long-term stuff. Oh, yeah.
Dude, the thing is, long-term now is like 3 years.
Yeah.
That's long-term now. Like some of people in those industries, like if you're a fitness trainer, you better get your shit together because you guys are popping out by the dozens right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Every other day, I'm starting my own fitness thing. Great.
Yeah.
I mean, how long do you think fitness trainers are going to be able to sell $49 programs online to everybody?
Yeah.
Unless they're seen as the authority.
They have to be innovative or creative or do something different to stand out from that.
Constantly be adding value, constantly be research, constantly picking up new skills or new research or new habits that others are not aware of yet.
Yeah.
Be ahead of the game. Can you think of a business leader that I mentioned earlier in this chat who has dominated that? Everybody shops on it.
Many. But who are you?
There's one in particular who's so far ahead of the game that $1 billion companies are trying to keep up.
Oh, Andy Frisella.
Well, in his industry, yes. But way bigger than that. Way bigger than that.
Who?
Jeff Bezos.
Oh, man.
Amazon. Dude, since when did Walmart, Best Buy?
I thought you were talking about fitness. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, just in general.
In general, yeah.
It's trying to catch up to this company.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember on a panel they asked him, and there was a bunch of other gurus up there, all the famous ones. Warren Buffett, back then, what's his name? This is back then. Apple.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
They're like, the commentator asked him, what do you have planned for, what are you guys working on for this coming year?
Yeah.
And he goes, excuse me? And she goes, what is everybody at Amazon, you guys at Amazon, working on? What are you developing for this coming year? And he goes, she thought he didn't understand the question.
Yeah.
He goes, we finished next year 5 years ago.
Whoo. Yeah.
We're already on at this time. He's like, we're already on 2020.
Yeah, it's like a Elon Musk mentality.
This is like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So when they say like drones are going to be delivering shit to your house and like even Uber drivers will be outdated in 2 or 3 years, those are just entertaining signs of what could be happening in your industry. And you won't know it because you're not looking for it, because you weren't trained to constantly be learning, constantly pay attention, constantly do your research. No, you like to watch kiddie videos that are jumping over doors and people doing skits in Hollywood about stupid shit, which I like too. It's funny. I like it too. Yeah. But pay a little attention, guys. I invest at least 3 or 4 nights a week. I call it my study time. I spend time trying to anticipate where my career is headed, what's happening in the economy, what's happening with technology,
like trends, and
what's happening in my career. What should I be prepared for? Is there something that hasn't come out yet that I need to be ready for?
Yeah.
Is there a change happening somewhere ahead that is going to require me to be much better than I am now?
Yeah.
Because maybe some of you can relate. I don't want to live the roller coaster anymore.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I don't want to have 5 great years and 2 tough ones, and then 3 great years and 4 tough ones, and then be 20 years into my career wondering why I'm still stressed about money.
And come see me at the hospital. Well, yeah. I'm not going to be there for the 20 years, but I'm just saying.
Right, man. Like when people tell me, dude, I can't eat healthy, it's expensive. I'm like, then you need to figure out how to make more money, stupid.
Yeah.
The industry I'm in, it's just not like it used. Then change. This is America, remember?
Yeah.
Remember when you met with Ali Zamani? And they have something called the Immigrant Advantage.
Yeah, the edge.
The edge. Is because when a lot of like my parents, my family, and many others, when they come here, you don't know like how thankful. Like my dad always said, look, this is our country now. This is what we support. This is what we believe in. And this is who we protect. We protect our country.
Yeah.
And to them, it was like, we're in the land of opportunity. If I want to change, I can change. If I want to speak, I can speak. If I want to go to another career, I can go to another career.
Yeah.
If I think I should open a business, I should be able to open a business. That's not for everybody, but right?
Yeah.
It's like the land. You know how quickly we forget that?
Yeah.
And we let the environment that we're in start to dictate what kind of life we're going to live.
Yeah.
Wake the fuck up. If you're a good person and you have good intentions, don't ever stop. Constantly keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. Pay attention. Look and search for people. Don't go walk down the neighborhood searching for people. Okay? Whip out your phone. You have the whole world in your pocket. Search for topics that you think might help you. Watch people in their videos. I don't like that person. Next. Wow, I really love what this person's saying. Follow, subscribe, whatever it is. I tell people, we live in a day and age right now where you can acquire 20 lifetimes of knowledge.
Absolutely, yeah.
In a week. Don't tell me I don't know what to do. What should I read? All that means is you haven't been awoken yet. Dude, whip it out. Start with Google. Go hit YouTube. Send some messages to people. Ask for some guidance.
Yeah.
Reach out. Don't tell me the same problem is happening in your life over and over and over, and there's no way out.
Do something about it.
You can't tell me that.
Yeah.
You're just stuck.
Yeah.
Get unstuck, people.
The Matrix. Matrix.
And if you're unstuck, you now have a responsibility to help lift other people. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
I was just going to ask you, to wrap up everything, how can people start? But you really delivered it there, is to be open, right? Put yourself out there. Keep evolving. Keep learning.
Yeah.
Right? Don't be afraid to adapt, but also you gotta plan ahead.
Yeah.
Be bulletproof.
Yeah.
Be recession proof. Right?
Be recession proof.
Yeah.
Be everything proof.
Yeah.
Look, life is going to knock you down. Okay. It's going to hurt. You're going to have deaths in the family. You're going to have illness. A lot of friends right now, somebody's going through cancer or whatever the case may be. But that's part of how God created us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's part. We're not, as humans, we're not perfect. So accept the imperfections and move forward.
Yeah.
Move forward anyway. Now, take these podcasts, for example. How fast have these things been popping up?
It's a huge trend right now, but it's still definitely very early for sure.
It's early, but take 10 years ago. 10 years ago, in order to communicate or to listen or to learn from a very successful group of people, I would have to go somewhere.
Yeah. Go to auditorium or something.
I would have to go to auditorium once a year, 1,000 people. And that's still good. We should keep doing that. But, dude, we live in an economy, in a world right now where within minutes, I often say I have many mentors, and I've met few of them. I've met very few. There are people that I respect so much, and I've never even shook their hand. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's because I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly searching. You'd be surprised how many people I talk to in sales that have never even heard of Tony Robbins.
Or even podcasts.
They've never heard of...
There's still some people that don't even know what a podcast is.
Not that I'm not coming for Grant Cardone too. But they're in sales and they've never heard of Grant Cardone. Like, hello.
Oh, man.
Because we're in a box. I'm not going to get into it now, but let's drop a really interesting
That'll be part two. That'll be part two.
But for the first 18 years of your life, you were stripped of the process of thinking and questioning things. And we replaced that with conforming and memorizing things. And that's why we have to reteach people to think for themselves and do what they think is right.
Yeah, dude, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Dude, so real quick, we're going to end it right now. Just real quick. Top Producers Academy. Still in the works like we talked about. Just touch a little bit on that, and then we're going to touch on where people can find you and go from there.
Okay, so Top Producers Academy is going to be a curriculum that will be available to businesses and individuals, where I will be teaching domination selling, all of the courses. We start recording next month. It'll be on Lightspeed VT. Big shout out to Brad Lee. Great dude, funny guy, amazing mentor as well. And when it comes out, it'll be obvious. I'll be blasting it everywhere, and I hope that I can touch as many people as possible.
Oh, I love it. And like we were talking about too, you're still figuring out it seems like a little bit the price point, but you do definitely want to make an impact and definitely more affordable for people, right?
No. It'll be first off, it'll be launched for small to medium sized businesses.
Okay.
It will be a fraction of what I charge in person. Okay. But they'll have 24/7 access.
Yeah.
To it. So it will be an affordable from the mindset of that, a few $1,000s a month to give you the return of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, definitely.
Is always worth it.
Yeah.
They're all membership based. And if there's ever a challenge, if you were to call me right now and you said, Joe, I need this. I'm struggling. I need it. I would probably come out to you, fly out to you and visit you just to see if you're the real deal. And if I like you and I think your heart's in the right place, I would call my assistant right away and I said, you give these people a login and you give it to them for free right now. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't really need the money. I do want to grow financially. Yeah. But if somebody really needs my help and it won't be the first time, then I will make a move. Yeah. I will make a move. I'll get you in there.
Yeah. Dude, I love it, man. And where can everybody find you? Because I know for sure everyone's going to love this episode. Because I loved it.
Yeah, you ain't going to find me at the hair salon. You know what I
mean? Drop that beat.
Just for now, just go to Instagram.
Instagram
at Joe Coach. One word, Joe Coach.
Joe Coach. Yeah. Put me in, Coach.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you know the routine, but I only have legends sign my canvas. I would appreciate you if you assign my canvas. I appreciate you coming on the parables, making your way down here. I hope everybody found value out of it. Actually, I know people are going to find value out of this episode. Do me a favor. If you guys are watching, listening, please tag us and share it. Let us know what you guys think. Again, the website just got launched. I'm still fixing little things here and there, but www.theparables.com. your website up? You have a website too, right? Yeah. What's your website?
Yeah, the link's on the Instagram. It's just joesemaan.com.
joesemaan.com. And again, if you know anybody that this episode can impact and influence, please do us a favor and just share it with them.
Wake them up.
Yeah. Wake them the fuck up, right?
Wake them up, yeah. And don't be afraid to send us DMs either. We're real people. Yeah, we're busy, but sometimes my heart just tells me I need to reach back out to this person. And by the way, man, thank you, because this is a lot of work. It's not just what people see here. Mm-hmm. And you got a full-time job. You have a family. So I'm proud of you, and I'm very thankful for you doing this.
I appreciate you.
It, man.
Hey, one-man team over here.
That's right.
I appreciate you guys. Parables Podcast with Joe Semaan, the coach.
That's right.
We're out of here.